It's me, Weekly Talks again, and in our last video we were talking about new beginnings, and in this video we're going to extend onto the topic and we're going to talk something more specific because last video we were like, how do you start something, how do you begin something, you know. You can go and watch our last video to see more detailed explanation, but as a conclusion from it, you need to set an idea about what you want to expand on, right? To begin on something new, expand on. You want, after the idea, to see what is stopping you, which would be your fears. So that stage would be a crucial one because you need to be honest with yourself and you need to literally fight your demons, your fears within yourself. And everybody has their own individual ones. And I explained my ones, which may be for this channel as an example. And you have yours. So just make sure, as I told you last time, be kind with yourself in the process and as a whole. Also, after that, give yourself time and take steps, but not too big steps, and don't lay back regressing on the progress. Take balanced steps, little steps. Just don't stop moving, but take some steps. And that's already progress. That's already beginning something. Now, I'm going to talk about how do we continue? What do we do from there? And then this is this video, and it will be the topic of discipline. Now, again, I personally like how Socrates thinks and what are his ways. That's why I'm going to do the same thing as last video and ask, what is discipline? The literal context would be discipline is doing every day without stop, on a schedule, which may seem bizarre to some, others may love doing. Like, on the top of my mind, an example would be the gym, right? And discipline would be for some 5 days, for some 2 days. My gym schedule would be 3 days a week, and the discipline would be every week 3 days, no stop. No weeks with 2 days or 1 day or no gym, right? And every week the same thing, and that would be discipline in the literal context. But we're not here to discuss that in this video and this channel. We're here to go deeper, to answer what really discipline is, because it is easy to imagine yourself repeating something like a robot and calling it a day. But discipline is much deeper. And people are right when they say motivation won't help you alone, motivation about the idea and passion. And that's where discipline kicks in. And discipline is rather like a mode, a mental mode of the particular individual that kicks in and gives you a reason to continue. So discipline isn't exactly rationally you telling yourself do it. No. And that's on itself encouraging for a lot of stuff. Rather, discipline is you giving yourself a purpose, a meaning to do it, which is stronger than any passion, any motivation. It is the meaning to do so, because when you have a meaning to go and metaphorically water the plant, let's say every week, like I will do with this channel, one day the plant will grow in a tree. And that's what discipline is. When you find the meaning to be there for yourself, to be there and water yourself, your own plant, so you grow in a wonderful tree that, you know, will reach the skies. So that's practically how I personally see discipline. And, you know, if you have your own opinions, you can always leave them in the comments and I'll do my best to reply. So yeah, now where do we go from here? We established that discipline is practically being honest with yourself and that way finding your true meaning to do that particular thing, right? It can be different for everybody. And after you find that meaning, you just do it. Like the meme, just do it, literally. So, but of course, you know, before you reach the just do it, imagine that discipline is you finding why. And like Nietzsche says, a man who finds the reason to why can do anything. It's not, I didn't quote it very well, but that's how I view it in a sense. So if you find your reason, your meaning, you're ready to do everything for it, which means consistency, commitment, and then emotion, motivation follows with it. That's the truth behind beginning something, is to see it through. And that's, again, as last video, that's again you giving yourself time to see it through, time to go through with it. That's why make sure when you begin something, before you begin it even, when you just have the idea, make sure if you're going with that idea that you have the time for it. Because I may start this channel, but that doesn't mean I have the time. And if I don't have the time, I won't be able to upload once a week. And if I don't do that, then there is no purpose. The meaning loses itself, you know. And that's really funny because you may have real meaning, reason for anything, but once time isn't in the picture, your own time, the reason, the meaning will always fail. It will fall on itself. That's why as I told last video, time is a crucial key to your growth and to life as a whole, you know. And it's a really interesting concept. So we'll talk about time more detailed another time, you know, but we'll have it, you know, in a few vids, as little talks like that. Now, okay, we're going pretty far with discipline, you know. Now the question would be, you know, and it's ironic, you know, new beginnings, going through with discipline, you know, does discipline end? Because at least when I imagine myself doing this every day, every week, you know, I don't see myself doing it for my whole life, you know. And I feel like this is how a lot of people are, because, you know, you can get committed, but that doesn't mean you give your whole life for it, right? Because life has so many things to it. You want to experience as much as you can, right? That's fulfilling. Well, one thing can be fulfilling on itself doesn't mean that's life, right? Life is so much more. That's why discipline also, a lot of people see it idealistically, which is a problem. They see it as, I am going through with it and I'm like going until the end with it. But you should see it as, I am starting, this is the beginning of a process. It's everything is some kind of process in life. So, you know, the beginning of my process of this certain idea, right? Whatever you may have. And discipline is you setting the rules by answering the questions about that process. So in a sense, discipline would be, you ask, why am I doing this? And discipline would be the reason to answering, okay, I'm doing this because of this, that, and this. Within myself, I was honest with myself, and that's why I'm doing it. And now that I know I'm doing it because of this, I'll have the moral rules. Morally, I'm doing this, so I won't be doing that, right? And it's different for everybody. And that's another topic that maybe sometimes we'll cover about ethics. But for now, what are we talking about? Discipline. Again, so practically, I'll give you an example. I want to, be the best at the gym, and I want to be determined with discipline and everything. Is it the way to go 3 times every week until, I become 8 years old? No. And that's obviously for everybody, that's idealistic. But if I go 1 week 3 times, the second week I go 2 times, and then I go again 3 times the third week, that's not bad, as long as I know that I'll continue going to the gym, right? Because I've began and I'm going through it, right? And some people can do it for 3, 6 months, 1 year. It's different for everybody. For the gym specifically, it's good to go for long term, which would be more than 6 months. But that's this specific example. And, stuff are always different for everybody. And, we need to respect each other's differences also. So that's really important. So, yeah, as a conclusion of this video, discipline is a crucial part of life, crucial part of why we do what we do. And without discipline, we cannot make the steps for our idea. So discipline is part of the beginning, and it's part of the process which is after the beginning. So I went a little bit over it. It's not just new beginnings, but it's an important part. So thank you for listening. Thank you for being here with me and giving your time. I really genuinely appreciate that. And if you have anything in the comment section, I'll gladly reply. And yeah, have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.